it's Lilyshop How To, and I am Jessie Jane, and today we are making these giant candles for Easter. I call them Easter Bunny candles, and we are using these huge mason jars, which are so amazing. Look at these. These are 2.8 quart canisters, and I got this at Ralph's. They have them all over the place. They're called Mason Craft and More storage canisters, and they were $11. So if you bought a candle this big, let me tell you, it would probably cost about $400, $300. No joke. These huge candles are super, super expensive. So what we're going to do is we're going to make our own with wax that I got at the craft store. And you can get these at any hobby shop or craft store. They sell different kinds of wax. This is paraffin wax. This is a clear right here. And for these giant jars, we're using 13 to 14 bars, which is 4 pounds of wax. So that is a lot of wax, but we are saving you hundreds of dollars because this entire thing cost, I think, about $15. So this is what we're using. And you're going to need some scents. So if you want to scent your candle, you can get different kinds of scents. This is spice cake, which is like, reminds me of Thanksgiving and happiness. So we're gonna use this one. If you wanted to color your wax and you had white wax, you can melt a crayon. And what you would do is just take the crayon and take the paper off because we don't want paper in our candle. And then you're going to melt this in with the wax and then stir it all up, and it's gonna change that color. So that's kind of a cool tip, right? So I'm going to melt my wax in this glass bowl. I already have wax in it because I made another candle. It's easy to get out once it's dry, or when it's hot, you can take a paper towel and just kind of wipe it out. So like I said, this is 4 pounds of wax, and it's 3 bars for 1 pound if you're using this wax. So let's take this over to the stove and I will melt this down. So this is a double boiler. Basically, this is just a pot that I filled halfway with water, and I'm using the glass bowl to put on top of it. And we're just gonna bring this to a boil, and you don't want the water to come to the top. You want it to barely touch the bottom of the bowl. And this is going to melt the wax, just like this. So we're gonna wait till this melts down. So I will see you back here in 14 hours. Just kidding, it's not that long. So while my wax is melting on the stove, I'm gonna show you how to put your Wicks into your jar. And the wax takes a little while to melt, so just keep an eye on it and stir it every once in a while. But I'm going to take the jar, remove the lid. You don't need the lid really. And we're going to put these Wicks at the base. So you can get these are large grande Wicks. And what you're gonna do is you can either use tacky glue on the bottom to hold it in place, or they have this putty. It basically holds your wick down. So I just take a little dab and you roll it into a little ball. But you could also use tacky glue if you have that on hand. You don't have to buy an extra thing. And just put it right there. See how I did that? Like a little pancake on there. And then I'm gonna stick it down, and I'm doing 3. So put them in a triangle so they're not all next to each other. So I brought my jar over here because I don't want it too far away from where I'm pouring. And I'm doing this in batches because I have a lot of wax to melt. So you're gonna read your directions on the back of your scent, and per pound, you wanna pour in that much. So based on what I put, I'm putting in the rest of this jar. You can continue to melt more wax in here, but I just wanna show you how I pour it in. This is really hot, so you wanna get everything as close together as possible. And what I do is I take my paper cup and I just dip it in here, just like that. The wax will cool on there. And then I pour it right into the jar. I find the paper cup works really well because I can bend it and it kind of creates a funnel. So you can scoop up the wax and then pour it directly in. So I'm gonna continue to melt down the rest of the wax, and let me put the sticks here to show you how to keep them in place. So these are just chopsticks, and I'm just gonna rest some in place. You want your Wicks to be standing completely upright where you want them to be. So we're gonna leave the wicks just like this, and once we're all done, we're gonna trim these, but for now, just leave them this long. We're gonna continue to melt all the wax and then pour it into the jar so it just fills right under the lid right here, just about at this ridge level. So this is what the candle looks like once it is completely cold. And I want to show you, there's kind of a well in here. It's not a big well. You can see it like it dips in a little. So what you would do now at this point is you'd melt a little bit more wax, maybe half a bar, and then pour it back over all of this, and that would fill in the well and any like gaps right here. I'm going to show you how to cut the wicks right now. It's not that big of a well, and I want to show you how to finish the candle. So what I'm going to do is basically cut the wicks. You don't want them more than 1/2 inch tall. Just like that. There you go. And I'm gonna show you now how to make the Easter bunny. So what I'm using here is felt. This is a white piece of felt. It is like 30 cents a sheet. And this is just a peachy color. You could also use a baby pink. What I did was I cut little bunny ears out of the felt, just like this. I freehanded it, but there's a template on the website if you don't wanna do that. I basically just took sharp scissors, cut a big ear out of my felt, just like this. And then I did the same with the peach right here. I just did a smaller piece to go in the center. So again, if you want the template, it's on the website, lilyshop.com. Just type in Easter jar or jar, it'll show up. And what I'm gonna do is use a little bit of tacky glue. Any glue will work for this. And I'm gonna put a little bit on the back of the peach guy. And put him right in the middle of the white bunny ear. So here are my little ears, done. We're going to hot glue them to here. First, I'm gonna do the tail. This is a palm. You can get these palms at the craft store. They look like this. They have a million colors. I have them on the website. We've done different things with them. You could also use a cotton ball if you didn't want to go buy these, but they're really cheap and they're bigger. So for the big jar, it looks cool. So just a little bit of hot glue right here on the tail. I'm gonna stick that to the bottom. And then I'm gonna take the ears and I'm gonna place them. Put glue right on the front side of that. See that? The front side of the ear right here to the lid. And I'm doing them far enough down because I don't want the flame to jump up and, you know, light the ear on fire. Here is the back of the jar. Isn't that cute? Happy Easter! So this is my Easter bunny giant candle. So if you like this Easter craft, please subscribe to our channel, first of all, like this video and leave a comment. And if there's any other holiday crafts that you want to see or that you might do in your house, please let us know. And I will see you next time. See you later, guys.